In the summer of 2025, Pakistan received its first batch of Z-10ME attack helicopters, a development that marks the culmination of a lengthy and complicated process of upgrading its rotary wing combat capabilities. These helicopters, designed and produced in China, are equipped with the Chinese-made air-to-air missile and the CM-502 air-to-surface missile. The delivery was made to Pakistan's Army Aviation Corps in Punjab, a region of particular strategic significance due to its direct proximity to Indian Army Aviation's AH-64E Apache squadron stationed just across the border. This proximity is not coincidental. The stationing of the Z-10ME at this forward base reflects the very considerations that motivated Pakistan's decade-long search for a modern attack helicopter: survivability, mobility, power performance at high altitudes, and above all, strategic equivalence with India's growing aviation capabilities. The story of how Pakistan arrived at the Z-10ME is layered with setbacks, shifting diplomatic relationships, and changing tactical requirements. The journey began in 2014, when Pakistan initiated an open international tender for the purchase of 30 new armed helicopters. The decision was triggered by India's announcement 2 years earlier of its intention to acquire the AH-64E Apache. Although India's contract with the United States was not finalized until 2015, the impending deal had already placed pressure on Pakistan to keep pace. At the time, Pakistan's existing attack helicopter fleet consisted largely of outdated AH-1F Cobras, most of which had been acquired in the 1970s and 80s. These aircraft were increasingly difficult to maintain and lacked the advanced avionics and firepower necessary for modern warfare. Recognizing this capability gap, Pakistan's defense planners opened the bidding process to 4 contenders: the American AH-1Z Viper, the jointly developed Turkish-Italian T-129 Atak, the Russian Mi-35M, and China's WZ-10. Each of these platforms offered a different set of advantages and trade-offs. Initially, the AH-1Z Viper appeared to be the frontrunner. It shared logistical and operational similarities with Pakistan's existing AH-1 fleet, making the transition relatively smooth. However, political realities quickly intruded. After delivering just 3 Vipers, the United States halted further deliveries under diplomatic pressure from India. As a result, Pakistan had to look elsewhere. Russia's Mi-35M, an upgraded version of the Mi-24 Hind, became the next candidate. However, Russia, balancing its lucrative defense ties with India, limited the sale to just 4 units, far short of Pakistan's request for 20. The message was clear: while Pakistan's defense needs were acknowledged, they would not be allowed to complicate Moscow's broader strategic priorities. The next bid came from Turkey and Italy, offering the T-129 Atak. Pakistan signed a deal for 30 units, but the helicopter relied on American-made engines. When Turkey purchased the Russian S-400 air defense system and was subsequently placed under U.S. defense sanctions, the export license for the engines was revoked. The contract was effectively frozen, and no aircraft were delivered. China's WZ-10 helicopter, which also participated in the 2014 bid, had been dismissed early in the competition. Although Pakistan tested it extensively, including in military parades and high-altitude exercises, the platform suffered from one critical flaw: its engine lacked the power to perform reliably in the demanding terrain of northern Pakistan. Much of the country's key military zones, including the Punjab border and areas around the line of control, are located at elevations above 4,000 meters. The WZ-10 simply could not deliver consistent performance at those altitudes. However, this would not be the end of the story. In the following years, China developed an upgraded version tailored for export, the Z-10ME. This version addressed the core limitation of the original design by introducing the turboshaft 9 engine, which dramatically improved power output and high-altitude performance. The Z-10ME can now operate effectively in the extreme conditions of both the Siachen Glacier, situated over 5,500 meters above sea level, and the scorching Thar Desert, where temperatures can exceed 50 degrees Celsius. According to available data, the engine's intermediate power has increased from 900 kilowatts to 1,300 kilowatts, while peak output reaches 1,500 kilowatts. These improvements have translated into a 20% higher rate of climb and a 10% increase in acceleration. This additional power has also enabled greater payload options. The Z-10ME includes several critical enhancements: a cockpit reinforced with composite ceramic armor, an advanced electronic warfare suite combining active and passive countermeasures, and a 30mm chain gun with 3 times the previous ammunition capacity. The number of hardpoints has increased from 4 to 6, allowing for more weapons or mission-specific equipment. Additionally, the helicopter offers optional upgrades such as a millimeter-wave radar, infrared shielding, and a helmet-mounted sight system. What distinguishes the Z-10ME further is its integration of modern networked warfare principles. Its Chinese-made missile is a dedicated air-to-air weapon developed specifically for helicopter use, with a range of 6 kilometers and advanced data link compatibility. This gives it an edge over the Apache's airborne version of the Stinger missile, which is adapted from infantry use and has a slightly shorter range of 4.5 kilometers. For ground attack missions, the Z-10ME CM-502kg missile extends its operational reach significantly. With a range of 25 kilometers, more than triple that of the Hellfire missile used by the Apache, the CM-502kg supports post-launch target updates and image-guided strikes. This was demonstrated during the 2024 China-Pakistan joint military exercise, where 4 Z-10MEs launched 8 of these missiles from an altitude of 4,500 meters in a high electromagnetic interference environment. The strikes successfully hit mobile armored targets, simulating a command post, with all 8 missiles hitting their designated objectives. The effectiveness of the Z-10ME during this exercise highlights not just the leap in Chinese military technology, but also Pakistan's strategic rationale. This purchase was not made out of desperation or lack of alternatives. It was the result of careful consideration of the aircraft's performance, adaptability, and availability without political constraints. It is also worth noting that Pakistan has not cancelled its other helicopter deals, such as the T-129. These contracts remain technically active, though frozen. Pakistan appears to be maintaining a diversified procurement strategy, aiming to keep its options open while prioritizing immediate, deployable capabilities. Whether the Z-10ME will prove equal to or even superior to the AH-64E Apache in direct combat remains an open question. The Apache has been in service for decades, backed by deep operational experience and a mature supply chain. Yet, the Z-10ME has closed many of the capability gaps that previously existed, and in certain performance metrics, such as range, payload flexibility, and power-to-weight ratio, it now offers a compelling alternative. The broader implication is that military procurement in South Asia is no longer defined solely by legacy alliances or long-standing relationships. As Pakistan turns increasingly to Chinese platforms, and as China refines its defense exports for rugged high-altitude environments, a new axis of cooperation is emerging. In that context, the Z-10ME is not just a weapon, it is a signal of where the regional defense landscape is headed.